Hi Pisces, welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you subscribe, I upload my new videos for Virgo and Pisces on Saturdays. And the deck that I'm using today is called the Spirit Within Tarot. And if you guys are interested, as always, my information for a personal reading is in the description below. But I do just want to let you guys know that sometimes the cards like to flip over in the deck. I do see them. However, I usually only take cards that jump out like these ones have. And usually if they jump out in groups that are too big, I'll go ahead and put them back and then continue shuffling. But my goal here is to get you guys... That one really flew out, and it's the Wheel of Fortune again. But like I was saying, my goal here is to get you guys roughly 8 or 9 cards, and then we can get started on your reading. So I'm just going to keep shuffling here and try to pull out 3 more cards for you guys, and then we can get started. I'm going to go ahead and take these in the reverse. And then we have the 8th card. So, Pisces, before we get started, I do just want to remind you guys that in case the reading resonates, or if you really enjoy the video, the best way to let me know is by leaving a like or a comment. But your overall energy here is the 9 of Wands, which is a very powerful card, right? It's maybe not always the most glamorous card, but it's a nice card to have because it talks about healing. So when we know that when the 9 of Wands comes out, it talks about going really deep in and healing some of those wounds that you've kind of been putting off, right? The symbolicism of the 9 of Wands is that you are a warrior who has been wounded from battle, but you're still fighting on. So first of all, I do want to congratulate you guys because I feel like you guys have really been fighting off these wounds, and either because of not being able to deal with them currently or just simply not having the mental space or resources or whatever to deal with whatever it is that you need to heal from, you know, I commend you for keeping up the good fight, right? But I feel like now you're finally entering a space and a time where you're more able to really, how should I say, tackle these things that you need to heal. So we have the 7 of Pentacles here, and we have the Tower card in reverse. So the Tower card is a card that gets a lot of bad reputation because it can be known for being very difficult and very painful, right? It's very Plutonian energy, which is very powerful, strong, and intense, right? But it is important to point out that whenever we decide to work together and work with the Tower, we can vastly improve our own quality of life, right? The change doesn't have to be so intense and so painful. It's only when we work directly against the Tower that we have incredibly unpleasant journeys, shall we say. And then the other card that we have here is the 7 of Pentacles, which the 7 of Pentacles to me feels like a direct input-output kind of card. So however much you're putting into the situation is however much you're going to get out of the situation. So what I'm saying here is that if you avoid your healing altogether and you don't do anything about it and you just try to sweep it under the rug, your journey through this Tower moment is going to be far more difficult than if you acknowledge these parts of you and you do your best and earnest to work on these issues and work through the Tower moment. So I do want to say that here we have this Ace of Swords and this 10 of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles is normally a really positive card to have because it talks about a happy home, happy life environment. The fact that this is in reverse tells me that there's some kind of a blockage here. There's something that in your mind you would consider to be like really positive or really good, something that you really want for your family that isn't quite coming into fruition. This may be anything from your relationship with your family members to your financial stability with your family, the amount of time that you can spend with them, anything that has to do with your family that causes you any kind of dissatisfaction, either small or big, is what it feels like to me. And I feel like you're at a very hard, difficult place mentally because you have this Ace of Swords in reverse. So the Ace of Swords in reverse, to me, brings with it a lot of mental fogginess and a lot of unclarity. Because whenever we see the Ace of Swords in the upright, we know that it's like a sword coming in to slice through all the fog and slice through all the confusion. So when we have it in the reverse, it feels like there is just like all this confusion in the air, and it's almost palpable. I'm also getting sort of like a pain in my throat right now. So I think that for a lot of you guys, you do a lot of good to really focus in on your throat chakra and really work on the more communication aspects of your emotions and your feelings. Because Pisces are very known for being able to feel these really big, powerful emotions. But I feel like the part where you're struggling most right now is being able to communicate them, which also coincidentally has to do with the swords, because the swords has everything to do with the mental realm, and that involves communication. So we also have the Ace of Wands here with the King of Wands in reverse. So that to me is a very interesting combination. The Ace of Wands is a very positive card to have. It's a new beginning, but more than just a new beginning, it's a passionate new beginning. Whenever we have the wands, we know that there's a passion, motivation, drive, and just power behind this energy. It's very fiery, and it brings with it a lot of ability to do things and get things done, right? And then we have the Nine of Wands over here. So to me, this feels like it's allowing you to have the power to be able to really handle all of your healing in a very powerful, efficient, effective way. However, we have the King of Wands in the reverse. So this to me tells me that perhaps instead of maybe like another person, which is how I would interpret that normally, this is representative of some of the masculine aspects of yourself, right? And, you know, we all have masculine and feminine portions within us. Energy, that I should say, but I feel like right now you're working on a lot of these sort of more masculine energies, and I know that term might be a little bit antiquated in today's current political context, but what I'm trying to get at here is that there's sort of this external world attached to these traditionally masculine qualities and this internal world attached to traditionally feminine qualities, right? So everything that would have to do with happening on the inside of you, for example, emotions, thoughts, feelings, intuition, would traditionally fall as feminine energy, whereas things that are happening outside of you have the tendency to be that sort of masculine quality. So this is where we see things like movement or like work traditionally. I hate to sort of buy into that stereotype, but I feel like those are some qualities of yourself that you're trying to sort of work hard on. And I feel like you'll know mostly what the qualities that you're trying to work on yourself are. But I feel like more than that, there's this aspect of yourself that you need to work on, which is being a little bit overly trusting. Because I see this Nine of Wands and then I see the Seven of Swords. And that to me feels like a very powerful but very dangerous combination, because the Seven of Swords is a very disgusting, nasty, sort of deplorable person, right? This is a person who is a liar, a cheater, a thief, I should say. This person will lie straight to your face and just all around be a terrible, sort of really scummy person. Right? And I feel like this person in particular does a lot of things, tries to play with your thoughts in your head. So I would say be very careful of that, first of all. And second of all, I'd say be very wary of who you trust right now, because they might be sort of this sheep's in wolf's clothing. And I feel like not only now, but in the past, you've had this Wheel of Fortune and reverse energy tied to this Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is that person who's very untrustworthy, who you've given your trust to, and they've caused you this Wheel of Fortune in reverse. The Wheel of Fortune in the upright, you know, is a little bit self-explanatory in the sense that it brings with it fortune. But when it's in the reverse, we know that it's on a downturn. So it feels like things are being taken away. And that ties directly back into that energy that I was talking about the Seven of Swords person being a thief. And I looked at the timer on my video just a few seconds ago, and it was at 1010, right? 1010. So I feel like that may possibly be a very important number for you. You might be seeing synchronicities. And I do recommend that you guys do a little bit of research on your by yourselves, because that will really help you out. And especially if you're seeing other numbers in synchronicities. But like I was saying, with this Wheel of Fortune, I feel like there's always the quality and the capacity of it, instead of being in the reverse, being in the upright. I just think that it's a matter of you guys learning who it is that you can and cannot trust, especially with the Seven of Swords. Like, the rest of this reading, honestly, isn't all that bad. I'd be happy with it, but the card that concerns me the most is the Seven of Swords, because you're over here healing, doing your work, getting your things done, moving towards a better life, and then here comes the Seven of Swords person to come and ruin it all, right? So Pisces, my advice to you is listen to your intuition. Be careful of who you trust, and always try to identify where it is that you want to go in life, and then remove everything that is keeping you from getting there. But that was your reading first time around, Pisces. If you enjoyed, please leave a like or a comment, because it really helps out the channel, and I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new Pisces videos on Saturdays, but in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings that I have up on the channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading.